This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming, basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
It's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Hello and welcome to Magic Park for Bar TV's coverage of Round 8 of the NPL. Today we see how the best attack will perform against the best defence. Will the undefeated Magic keep their record alive and intact after 8 rounds? A win for the home side will take them to 20 points on the ladder, which is the total amount of points that they finished with in 2014. For the visitors today is a chance to show their true quality after a loss at home to Hamilton last weekend. Are they contenders for the title in 2015, or are they just pretenders? We will find out today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. It's Northern New South Wales NPL live right here on the home of Grassroots Sport Bar TV. And Blake's got the team sheets. He's going to go through the lineups for today's game.
Yes, Ben. For the away side first, Weston Workers. Number 1 in goals, Tim Pratt. Number 2, Nathan Morris. Number 3, Robbie Turnbull. Number 4, Brock Oakley. Number 7, Liam Thornton. Number 10, Gary McDermott. Number 11, Jamie Subat. Number 13, Carl Thornton. Number 16, Zach Snedden. number 19, Wilson Edwards, and number 25, Troy Heafield. On the bench for the Bears, number 9, Jake Milstead, number 14, Rob McBeth, number 31, Jacob Golding, and number 30, Adam Pearce. For the home side, in goals, number 1, Nathan Archbold, number 3, Josh Piddington, number 4, Ben Higgins, number 6, Daniel Casaroli, number 7, Scott Pettit, number 8, Matthew Houle, number 9, Peter Haynes, 17, Dino Fajkovic, number 19, Cal Bradbury, number 20, Mike Finlayson, and number 23, Kor Senjin. On the bench for Magic today, number 10, Chris Berlin, number 11, Reece Tippett, number 14, John Griffiths, number 16, Callum Lewis, and number 66, their goalkeeper, Brad McKenzie.
Yeah, so they're the team lineups for this one out here today. Maitland taking on Weston. The sides are going to be out here just in a sec, and we will see how this battle will unfold. Here come the sides out onto the pitch now. It's Maitland and Weston right here on Bar TV. Blake, what are you thinking of the result today?
Yeah, I'm gonna tip Magic. I think they'll be too strong. I can see it though. I'll sit on the fence. Weston being able to get a result out of this one with the way the field is at the moment. If you see there on the screen, the field's real chopped up. It'll affect the way Magic like to play. They like to play a good passing game, and then they really rely on their through balls. Weston are more accompanied to these sorts of conditions, grinding out a result with a physical game and in a scrappy game. That's what they've been doing lately. I remember one of the Bar TV games we did where they beat Maitland. It was a real scrappy game. So I'm going to tip Magic, but I think Weston are a big chance today.
Well, of course, there was that really wet match up at Rockwell Automation Park, that one match that got played when Weston took on the Jets Youth and they got beat 1-0. So that could be interesting. We think Weston are one of those scrappy sides that will take nothing and they can win on this sort of pitch. But as shown this year, they've struggled when it was very, very wet, and this pitch is, it's a close resemblance to that one we saw up at Weston. The first half, I think it was 0-0 at halftime, then it bucketed down midway through the game, and then it all the field turned to mud like it is out here today. So almost about to get underway here at Magic Park. They've had a great weekend of results. Those under-13s had a 4-1 win. The 14s had an 8-1 win. 15s 2-0 and 17s 2-0. And then today they went down in the 22s to Weston 1-0. So a wonderful day yesterday. Today didn't start off as well for the Magic, but we'll soon see if they can turn that around today. So Broadmeadow are going to kick off. They're going to run from left to right of your screens. Weston from right to left. It's round 8 of the NPL here on Bar TV, about to get underway. It's Cale Bradbury and Peter Haynes, the captain for Broadmeadow, scored on Monday night. And we are underway. Broadmeadow playing it wide now, and it's Scott Pettit going down the left side, and already they're onto the attack. And it's knocked over the sideline. So Ko Sangin, who's starting for Broadmeadow tonight, he came off the bench on Monday night against the Jets. And it's going to be Brock Oakley with the throw on that far side of the ground. Goes long, down the line. Now back with Piddington. Trying to go short. Bouncing away. Of course, Josh Piddington playing his 200th game for Broadmeadow back in round 1 against Hamilton. Robbie Turnbull, another 200-game veteran for Weston. Played it last week against Hamilton. Piddington again. Looking forward, headed back from Snedden. Herefield goes away to Liam Thornton. And looking across to the left for Jamie Subat. And then didn't find him in the end. Sangin now. Over onto the left side. Trying to control by Fajkovic and runs over the sideline. So Weston with the throw. Already enterprise from the Magic in the opening few minutes. Straight from the kickoff, they were putting the pressure on Weston. Ball trying to play for Turnbull down the right.
Yeah, there's a lot more at stake than usual here for Magic. They've slipped down to second after Edgeworth defeated the Jets Youth 3-1 yesterday in one of 3 Saturday games in round 8. Lambton also played, beating Maitland 2-1, and Adamstown beat South Cardiff 3-0. So a win for Magic here obviously gets them a win or draw, so it gets them back to the top of the table. But the next 90 minutes we'll see if they're able to do that.
Well, I think it shows you how well Edgeworth are doing this year. The fact that their Magic have had such a fantastic start to the year. It shows you how well Edgeworth are doing to be up the top. Of course, Edgeworth haven't had a draw this year. They've had 6 wins and a couple of losses. Both those to Hamilton and Broadmeadow undefeated, but they've had the 2 draws.
Yeah, they started off the season with a bang, beating Charlestown 4-0 at home on the first night of the competition, Friday night, and then obviously they hit a bit of a roadblock taking on Magic and Olympic, which is expected the way these two are going this year. And then they've won 5 games in a row. That's, they've got them and Magic have the hottest forms in the comp. 5 wins in a row.
Yeah, and we should remind everyone that's watching here today that we have a big battle in round 10 just been announced. Hamilton and Broadmeadow at Darling Street. It was a 0-0 draw the first time the 2 sides met. So if we get a game hopefully a little bit more exciting in the goals department, it'll be a cracking afternoon at Darling Street. Matt Houle, of course, played for the Australian futsal team way back at the start, or probably a month ago now, in Belarus. They finished 4th in their pool. They had Uruguay, Brazil, and Belarus, the home side. They were in Pool A, and Matt Houle scored in that first match against Uruguay, although they were knocked over 7-2 the Australian futsal side. Is there any nickname for them?
I would not have a
Futsal
clue.
Roos, futsal. Of course, reminded that you can comment under the live stream today, and if you have any questions about goal scorers or anything today, just post them on there, and we'll get back to you in the coverage this afternoon. Platyfoots. There's another good suggestion. That's a good one. NBN cameraman's giving us some quality suggestions for the Australian futsal team. As it goes back, a little bit of a stumble there from Higgins. Looks across to the right for Pettit. He did well. Pressure was put on him from Jamie Subat. Troy Herefield, of course, out there today. Former Newcastle Jet and Mariner. He scored in the match against Weston. He also scored a bomb last week against Hamilton to level it all up. And that's Herefield on the ball now. Troy Herefield trying to turn away from Pettit. Plays it across the left for Wilson Edwards. Former Jaffa last year. Goes back to Edwards from Herefield. Just couldn't control it. It's a tough game to really control the ball on a pitch like this. Herefield diving in. No foul given from the referee. Sangin. He's got Fadshivik on the left. In the end, it was a slow ball. Houle. Cross now to Cale Bradbury. Now down the line for Fadshivik. He hasn't got anyone in the box. Pettit's coming now. Cuts it back. Bradbury couldn't get on the end of it. He's been awesome this year. Cale Bradbury, 8 goals in the opening 7 matches played. Turnbull on the ball and up towards Subat. Back with Finlayson. And now across to the right looking for Pettit. Ball from Casaroli. Pettit now cutting it back. And a corner goes the way of the Magic. So an end-to-end start to the game, Blake. What have you made of the opening 5 minutes of it?
Been pretty interesting so far, hasn't it? Both sides are showing their intent early. Both are going for an early goal. So I think Weston will...
Here's the ball in, up for the header. It's in the back of the net. It's Peter Haynes, the captain, who's scored for the Magic. And they go ahead 1-0 inside the opening 7 minutes here at Magic Park.
I was just about to say, I reckon Weston will be able to cope with it. They're the best defensive side in the competition, but as soon as I got cut off by the corner, it came in and Peter Haynes headed one home to make it 1-0. So 6 minutes into this round 8 match of the round, and the home side Broadmeadow are ahead. That's Magic's 24th goal of the 2015 season. They only scored 27 last year, so 3 more goals, and they've already bettered their 2014 record. That also goes with wins. They only won 6 games last year, and they've already won 5, so a win here today will equal that. And they only got 20 points last season. They've already got 17, so a win here today, and to make it even sweeter, by 4 goals, and they equal all their 2014 achievements before the halfway point of 2015 season.
Well, I was just checking the comments under our coverage. Boz Fief has tipped Magic to win 3-1, so we'll see how he goes this afternoon. As the ball goes over the far side of the ground. Magic already won to the good this afternoon. Peter Haynes from that corner. Very lacklustre Western defence. They conceded 4 goals in the opening 6 matches. They've now conceded 4 goals in the last 95 minutes of play. So disappointing for Weston after such a strong start defensively. Throw on a free kick on the far side of the ground, going the way of Weston. Their chief free kick master, Nathan Morris, walking over to take it. See if he can put one towards the back post. That's where his men are numbering up out to the far side. Robbie Turnbull, the only man inside, now running to the back of the 18. Morris looks back, stick. Oh, fizzes past the back post. Nathan Archbold watches it roll by, and it's going to be a goal kick. I was just saying, Blake, a moment ago about the Weston's defence. They conceded 4 goals in the opening 6 rounds. They've now conceded 4 in the last 95 minutes. What do you think is going wrong, or do you think it's because they've played Hamilton and Magic 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, I think that's everyone's problem, isn't it? Hamilton and Magic. I know South Cardiff conceded 9 in 2 games against Hamilton and Magic, and Edgeworth, as we said, their only 2 losses of this season have come against Hamilton and Magic. So I think they're the 2 strongest teams in the competition this year, and I think it just falls that everyone, when you play Magic, you get or when you play Hamilton, you get Magic the next week.
It seems to be a common occurrence, because I've seen plenty of sides get the double dose. Edgeworth had the double dose. Weston, of course, with Hamilton last week.
Obviously, this is only the 8th round, so we can't really make a call yet. But it seems as though Hamilton and Magic are sort of taking their place back at the top and dominating this league. But we've got a chance here with Cale Bradbury in the box, but Brock Oakley clears only as far as Dino Fajovic. Robbie Turnbull back to Nathan Morris inside the box. Josh Piddington with a long run from the back. Mike Finlayson there dispossessing Liam Thornton, but Weston have the ball back through Carl Thornton, Ben.
Comes across now to Edwards on the left-hand side, putting it down the line. And Finlayson does well. Of course, former Newcastle Jet last year. Michael Finlayson, Jets youth, I should say. He scored in the preliminary final loss to the Jaffers, where they were knocked out.
We have a former Central Coast youth player in this game as well. Ben Weston securing the signing of Adam Pearce. He used to play at Magic. He then went to the Central Coast Academy, and he's back in the NPL, playing 22s for Weston and sitting on the bench for the first team.
Interesting to see how he goes this afternoon. Number 30 for Weston this afternoon. And ball goes over the sideline on the far side. So a throw over there for Matt Houle. Goes to Sangin. Casaroli playing it back for Higgins. Higgins brings it to Finlayson on the right-hand side now. Ball flying over down near the camera here. I didn't know where that went. It went straight up in the air. And we got a free kick going going the way of the home side this afternoon. Ben Higgins is going to take it.
Interesting to hear that someone tipped a 3-1 win, I think you said, for Magic. I can't remember exactly, but I think in the trial game here, it was a night game. I think Magic did beat Weston 3-1. And that was where Troy Heafield scored his first goal in Western colours. I can't remember the score. I know Magic did win. I think it was 3-1.
We'll see if Lightning can strike twice here in round 8. He goes Oakley, looking down the line. It's Subat trying to flick it on towards Gary McDermott, who scored a couple for Weston this year. And 3 goals last year, Gary McDermott. Snap Piddington on the line. It's going to run down and over the byline. Tim Pratt has been the cornerstone of Weston's defence this year. He's saved a penalty last week from Kane Goodchild. And it was a week where many penalties were saved. Couple, in fact. Brad Swancott also saving a penalty in Lambton's 1-1 draw. I think it was Guy Bates. And as we've heard this week, Blake, Guy Bates won't be playing any further part in the NPL. He was originally going to leave after round 12 anyway, but in trying to secure that release, here's Haynes looking again, but it's going to go over the byline. In trying to secure, right on top of the car over there, in trying to secure that release, they found that he didn't have an international transfer clearance, and he will not be able to play any further part in the NPL this year. And Adamstown won't receive any punishment for it. That's the news we have received. Here's Scott Pettit, another corner looking back post. And Liam Thornton does really well with the head to knock it away. It's put back in again, back post, up they rise. Higgins was there, and McDermott does well to knock it away, but only as far as Houle. Houle goes across to the left side with Fajkovic. Was it Scott Pettit? It's Scott Pettit over that far side. Bring it back now to Piddington. Now there's a bit of pressure from Jamie Subat. He's away, Jamie Subat. Can he get away from Finlayson? He'll do well in the end. Does very, very well, Mike Finlayson. And they survive that little chance from Subat.
Yeah, Mike Finlayson, great defensive cover there. Only last season we saw him in the NPL playing with the Jets Youth as a striker. Here today doing some great defensive work.
Interesting, he is playing further back. Here's Fajkovic. Mike Finlayson playing in the defensive line for the Magic today. Back to Tim Pratt. Looks long and over halfway. Nice ball to McDermott. McDermott looking for Subat. The flag does go up, and it'll be a free kick going the way of the Magic.
Yeah, so it's Josh Piddington, 15 metres short of the halfway line, taking the free kick. Goes long looking for Bradbury, but a little bit too far, and Tim Pratt easily collects. Pratt short to Carl Thornton.
Just looking at the head-to-head stats recently from these two sides. We'll just go to Finlayson going down the right-hand side. Mike Finlayson, he's got a ball back stick, but Nathan Morris does well. It comes out to McDermott. Now Peter Haynes with an ambitious effort, and that will go way over the goals and down towards the tennis centre. It's head-to-head since 1999. Broadmeadow Magic and Weston have played each other 35 times. Broadmeadow 23 wins of those 35, 6 draws and 6 losses. So 23 wins for 23 wins for Magic, just 6 wins for Weston, and 6 draws in there as well.
Interesting to see there.
35.
Sorry, Ben, to cut you off. That Magic have a positive 50 goal difference as well. It says there. So
79 goals to 29.
Amazing.
So they have run rampant over Weston in the last 15 years, but probably more interesting is their record in the last from 2012, 13 and 14, the last 3 years before this year. They've played 6 times. Broadmeadow have won 2, Weston have won 2, and they've had a couple of draws. So not as lopsided over their recent history, these two sides. As Haynes goes back to Archbold. Looks long, gets a decent bit of that and knocks it up forward. Thornton puts the header over the sideline, Carl Thornton. Scott Pettit now trying to get down this right or near side. Thornton goes to Herefield. He's got Turnbull who's free on the far side. Back to Morris. Morris now goes to McDermott. Back to Turnbull. Back to Snedden now. Snedden trying to control Haynes with a bit of pressure. It comes up for Bradbury. Bradbury's got to finish to surely Cale Bradbury. It's 2-0 the Broadmeadow. And they're running rampant again at Magic Park for the second match in a row. It's 2-0 and we've only played the 17 minutes.
Yeah. Good little steal there from Peter Haynes, getting a toe in with his left boot, and Cale Bradbury just running onto it. Too much pace. He looked extremely confident. I thought he might have taken a shot first time, but took the touch to compose himself and get a better angle around Tim Pratt, and he slotted it home into the bottom right-hand corner. That's Cale Bradbury's 9th goal for the season. So he scored 9 from 8 for his new club, so a very, very good signing. As I said before, they scored 27 last year, and they've already scored 25 this year.
Well, here's Scott Pettit now. They're going to try and come down and go on the attack again here, Broadmeadow. Finlayson with a very good challenge in the end. He won the ball. Pettit was a tough one. Stood strong, and now with Haynes looking for Sangin. Turnbull has intercepted it. He's looking down the right side. Does he have the speed to take on Sangin? He turns it over now to Houle. Houle across to Casaroli. Casaroli slips over it, goes to Snedden. Snedden goes to Turnbull. Turnbull is going to win the throw for his side, and a throw now for Weston. They've really got to get out of their own half, Weston. They've struggled to get out of their defensive end across this opening 20 minutes. It runs back to Houle. Casaroli now. And Haynes playing it all the way back to Archbold, just trying to cool things down for Broadmeadow. Piddington now. They've just been unstoppable in attack this year, Broadmeadow. The only side that's really put them under pressure was Adamstown. That wet weather catch-up match on Tuesday night a couple of weeks ago, where Magic went down. Here's Haynes with a long-range effort, but that's not going to trouble Tim Pratt. He gets down low and makes a nice save in front of his near post. But Adamstown, of course, got a 2-0 advantage over them. They fought back and won 3-2 in the stoppage time in the second half. It was a very, very late winner from Chris Berlin, and they got the bickies there. So back now for Morris, and now looking across the ground. They've turned it over again here, Weston. This is very uncharacteristic of them. It's the pressure that Magic's putting on them. Here's a ball wide for Pettit. Vajkovic goes for a run to the box. Pettit cuts it back. Thornton does well to knock it over the byline. And Blake, at the moment, Magic are just unstoppable.
Yeah, and they are unstoppable, but I think Weston are making it a lot easier for them here today. They're usually so composed in their midfield and at the back, and they've just given the ball away too much. And I think that we'll just go back to the chance.
Snedden does really well with a head. Here's Sangin with a deflected shot over.
Yeah, another corner here. I think Magic showed the other night against the Jets, didn't they? When a lot of their goals were the Jets just giving the ball away, and then Magic have quick guys up front, Cale Bradbury, Vajkovic, Scott Pettit, so you can't just be giving the ball away in those regions.
Well, here's Scott Pettit again, another corner. Be looking for his captain again. It's whipped in. Piddington was there, but it's deflected. I think it's come off a Western head, and it's been knocked over the sideline. that ball will be tough to get back. Thornton with knocking it long. And a throw going the way of Broadmeadow. It's going to be Mike Finlayson who's going to take it. We'll see if Broadmeadow can go on the attack here. Haynes trying to play it back to him. He got a heavy touch, and Weston get out of danger for the time being. Throw for Edwards. Goes to Thornton, tries to flick it on. They win another throw, and they'll march up the field, but it just seems to be a common occurrence this year. the sides that take on Broadmeadow. Just the goals that have flooded in. And they've scored. They didn't score in their opening game, Magic, but since that opening game, they scored 5 against Maitland, 4 against Edgeworth, 2 against Lambton, 3 against Adamstown, 4 against South Cardiff, and 5 against the Jets Youth. So an incredible amount of goals that Broadmeadow have put in the back of the net this year. Ball played across now from Subat. He was looking for Thornton. It didn't get there, but now Thornton's got it back. Edwards down the left-hand side, Wilson Edwards. He tries to take on Finlayson. Goes over the sideline, and Broadmeadow win the throw. There's a couple of those sides with those star players such as Gary Kenneth, and of course Adamstown have had Guy Bates up to this stage, Lambton with Michael Bridges and Remington and plenty of star power. They're the sides Broadmeadow seem to struggle against this year, and Kane Goodchild, of course, at Hamilton, they didn't get the job done against them. True with the Jaffers and Olympic, and of course that late winner against Adamstown. What sides do you think are going to trouble Broadmeadow this year, Blake? Do you think it's going to be really attacking sides, or the sides like Weston that are defensive?
I think they're more attacking sides. I think they've only kept 1 clean sheet this season. But in saying that, whoever they do verse, if they're going to trouble Magic, they need to be alert defensively, because they've scored a lot of goals this season, and there's only been 8 rounds. I think they're averaging just over, actually, 3 goals a game. So I think Hamilton will definitely give them a run, and I think Edgeworth will as well.
Yeah, of course, they knocked over Edgeworth pretty easily, 4-1. But I think Edgeworth are much better than what that scoreline shows. Here's Finlayson. Goes to Haynes, tried to play a 1-2, but Thornton was there to intercept. Morris across to Herefield now. Herefield down the left side, Troy Herefield. Yeah, before today, Magic were averaging 3.3 goals a game. But here is Brock Oakley down the right with some space for Weston, but his second touch was way too heavy. And now Broadmeadow are turning defence into attack across to the left side. And it's intercepted by Snedden, so end-to-end stuff here in the middle of the park. Snedden across to Turnbull. Turnbull taking it down the right-hand side. Fadcevic comes across to him. Still with Turnbull, he goes down. And now it's played back for Snedden. The clearance not what Broadmeadow would have wanted. Back to Snedden. Can he control? Zach Snedden playing it back towards McDermott. McDermott going back to Thornton now. Weston trying to build up something here. Here's Jamie Subat on the left. Can he hit a shot? He cuts it back. Oh! And Josh Piddington was there to knock it away. Weston's still there, and they're going to win themselves a throw right down near the corner. So Weston turning the screws a little bit here. They need to score the next goal. I think that's pretty obvious. Otherwise, this game could be beyond them. As it's back to Edwards. Edwards puts it in towards McDermott. And Peter Haynes is after it. Oh, diving it was Herefield. Herefield's going to get himself a yellow card for that challenge. And Troy Herefield goes into the referee's book. So the most promising attack there from Weston, Blake. They built up nicely.
Yeah, he got a yellow card there. He's lucky he didn't get any more of Peter Haynes. It could have been a red, to be honest. It was a very vicious-looking tackle, wasn't it? And Haynes seems to be in a bit of bother.
Yeah, he just seemed to only sort of just clip him. So if he had have got any more, then it would have been an early shower for Troy Herefield this afternoon. Now, we do have one match on this afternoon, Blake. I believe we have another match in the NPL on the Savo.
Yeah, we have Hamilton versus Charlestown.
I think many would tip Hamilton to get the job done in that one. So Charlestown have struggled this year.
And then Charlestown then have Magic next week. So
there you go. It just seems to be happening all the time.
And then I know Hamilton have Maitland next week. So there's a couple of the heavyweights versus a couple of the strugglers. So I wonder if Maitland then have... No, they don't, because Hamilton play Magic in round 10.
Yeah, that would be a very tough draw. Well, Maitland, it's not long before they have to play Broadmeadow again. They played them in a wet weather catch-up match from about round 3 or 4, I believe. So it won't be long before they meet Broadmeadow again, but well done to Maitland last week with that win over Charlestown. It was awesome. Awesome for Harry's Foundation as well. It was great to see the shirts, the special shirts being worn last Saturday. It was incredible, and I also saw I think it was the under 14 Maitland team put a little bit of a message to the first grade players, which was awesome. So yeah, it was great to see last week Maitland last week with a really, really special day. As Herefield goes down, wins the throw.
Yeah, just what we've got a break in play here. Ben, just around the ground, you said there was another game on today. Hamilton Olympic are leading Charlestown 2-1. Jacob Bailey opened the scoring again, just like he did last week. And then Jared Ross got one back in the 20th minute for Charlestown. And only 2 minutes ago, I'm going to say it'd probably be about the half an hour mark there, Simon Mooney has put the home side in the lead.
So Hamilton with a 2-1 lead there. It's played down for Casaroli. Casaroli down the line for Finlayson. They just find the space, the Magic. Here's a ball for Bradbury. Cale Bradbury. Oh, great challenge from Morris. Got the ball before Bradbury got there. And that saves probably another chance on goal, if not another goal for Broadmeadow. 9 goals this year for Cale Bradbury. Peter Haynes got his 5th of the season in the 5th minute. 5th of the season in the 5th minute did Peter Haynes. But great to have your company. Round 8 of the NPL at Magic Park this afternoon. Here's Pettit looking for Ben Higgins. It goes up and Tim Pratt will take that nicely. So next week we've got Edgeworth and Weston at Jack McLaughlin. So if Weston don't get the job done here this afternoon, that could be an interesting match for them, because if they don't win that one, that's 3 losses in a row. As here, Thornton goes down the left-hand side, but we won't look too far ahead. Thornton back to Edwards. Wilson Edwards looking now for Subat. Lovely little touch from McDermott. Subat's in on goal now. He's down the left side, cutting it back. McDermott, Archbold with a brilliant save. With the legs, closed the legs at the last minute. And Broadmeadow, well, they've dodged a bullet there. That was an awesome save. And here, racing down the middle of the park, of Broadmeadow coming on the attack again through Fajkovic, but they've turned it over. Turnbull now, and plays in Oakley. So entertaining stuff here midway through the second half, the first half. I'm getting ahead of myself. Broadmeadow with a 2-0 lead after 29 minutes here on Bar TV. A reminder, no replay machine with us at the NPL, but you can just scroll back the video and check out that awesome save from Nathan Archbold in the Broadmeadow Magic goal. Here's Haynes with a attempted shot. It was ambitious, and it's gone, luckily for Broadmeadow, right down in the corner, and Weston are going to have to play it out. If there were any doubts about Nathan Archbold's ability, they were certainly eradicated after that. A brilliant save. Thornton back for Edwards, looking up for Snedden. Subat's probably been Weston's best so far this afternoon. Morris, and it comes back now for Subat. Subat looking down the left side. Thornton now. Liam Thornton. He does really well, Liam Thornton. Lovely ball from McDermott. And Ben Higgins does well to knock it down towards Tim Pratt. But what a save that was from Nathan Archbold, Blake.
Yeah, a very good save. Seems to be really enjoying himself here at Magic. Obviously, his past 2 clubs have been relegated. He relegated last season with Lakes and the season before with Valentine. So he'll be enjoying a very successful season. The first in about 3 or 4 years for him.
Yeah, it must feel good to be watching the goals go in down the other end instead of down his end. Of course, Magic had a pretty poor year last year, only as we've spoken about and touched on, 9th last year, down near where Lake Macquarie finished. I was also reading in the paper midweek about how Charlestown and Maitland and sides down the bottom of the ladder are watching New FM, the New FM division, to see who actually is in that promotion spot, because it's only Valentine and I'm trying to think of the other side who Valentine and Lake Macquarie that can actually get promoted. Is that right? Wallsend can't be promoted. I think that's got to do with ground or something like that, finance and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue. I do know though that Wallsend and Lake Macquarie's game today would have been a bit of a blockbuster, but it was washed out.
Where was that one being? Was that being played at
That
Lake
was
Macquarie?
at Wallsend.
I was at Wallsend. That makes sense. I was thinking Lake Macquarie. Lake Macquarie's ground is pretty good for even in the wet weather. It is Turnbull now down the right. Here's a chance for Weston. Archbold does well again. Knocks it away, but Weston are just putting a little bit of a challenge towards Broadmeadow. After they flexed their muscle early on with 2 goals in the opening 17 minutes, Weston have come right back into it. And we've got a throw going the way of Broadmeadow on the far side of the ground now. After almost 32 minutes gone.
I'm going to see a sub here. I wonder who's... It looks like Peter Haynes is going off. He's given the armband to Josh Pennington.
It's Chris Berlin that is coming on the ground.
Yeah, so not good
I think
signs.
it's that injury from the challenge from Troy Herefield, actually.
Yeah, that good point. It would be that, I think. It's very disappointing for Broadmeadow. He scored the first one and some great defensive work.
Troy Herefield's run over and...
yeah, that is very nice. But as I was saying, some great defensive work set up the second goal. So good to see Herefield.
Yeah, Monday night I was just being told that the goals dried up when Peter Haynes left the ground. So that's going to be a real test for Broadmeadow now. Chris Berlin, well, enough said. He's been awesome for Broadmeadow. I think 117 games, 56 goals for Chris Berlin. He's been an awesome player for Broadmeadow across his career. 2011 man of the match in the grand final. As here's Subat again down the right-hand side. Weston turning it on. McDermott can't control. First time and he hits the second time. And Weston are on the board. Well, you could see that coming for about the last 5 to 10 minutes. Weston have applied the blowtorch. Peter Haynes has left the ground. And now we've got a real game on our hands at Magic Park. It's 2-1 after 34 minutes. Well, what a cracker we have now. Broadmeadow dominating the opening exchanges. And Weston have certainly proven after they looked like they had stage fright for the opening 20 minutes that they are here to play at Magic Park this afternoon. Here's Turnbull. Turnbull now down the right side, playing it back to Subat. He's been brilliant today. Finlayson, Pettit now, looking for Chris Berlin. Now for Thornton. Thornton's got plenty of space on the edges. Very condensed in the middle, but they play it wide for Hoole. Fajkovic. Now a ball over the top from Pettit running down and over the sideline. And we all take a deep breath, and Brock Oakley goes quickly in the end of Turnbull. And now Turnbull's away down the right-hand side for Weston. He goes Robbie Turnbull. Now goes to Subat. Subat turns. Takes stock. Goes to McDermott. And cleared away in the end by Piddington. Up towards Berlin. And the free kick goes the way of Broadmeadow. A little bit of a push in the back on Chris Berlin. 33-year-old for Broadmeadow. Of course, him and Reece Tippett. Reece Tippett was the 2008 Player of the Year. And Chris Berlin, as I said before, the 2011, the man of the match in the 2011 grand final. So they're certainly no strangers to high-quality NPL action. And there was talk that he was going to try and leave Chris Berlin Broadmeadow, and he decided to stay on. He has desire for another premiership, and I think in terms of that decision, it's a smart one because Broadmeadow have been brilliant this year. Here's a ball down the line and over the sideline, but he is 33, Blake, Chris Berlin, so how much speed in those legs does he still have now?
I'm not too sure. I reckon he'd have a good 3 or 4 more years in him. That's my prediction.
The 3 or 4 for Chris Berlin. And now it's back for McDermott. Lovely control now for Jamie Subat. He's got Piddington ahead of him. He's also got Matt Hoole. Goes across to Turnbull. Turnbull, can he cut one back to the middle, Robbie Turnbull? Brings it all the way back. Just Turnbull to Nathan Morris. Morris now looking towards McDermott. McDermott holds it up beautifully. Now runs around, cuts it back. He was pulled down. He wasn't impressed. And it's going to be a goal kick for Nathan Archbold. But Weston just totally dominant in the last 16 minutes or so. What do you think? What do you think's turned this match around, Blake?
Well, our cameraman Brendan said it, didn't it? When Haynes went off, he said the goals dried up the other night against the Jets, and I think it's had more of an effect than the goals just drying off. Obviously, we can't really make that sort of call yet. It's only been 6 minutes, but Weston have got back on top, haven't they? As soon as Haynes went off, looks like the composure in the midfield's gone.
Well, here's a ball back for Bradbury. Can they get one back? He just wasn't composed enough, and he smashes that one over. Just Kale Bradbury, a little bit of pressure on Broadmeadow all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I think Berlin can do a good job outright, but they'll definitely miss Scott Pettit. He's gone into the midfield to cover for Peter Haynes, but I definitely think he's better served on the right-hand side, but we'll have to see how Magic respond now.
Well, here's Herefield. I don't think what happened to Peter Haynes, the injury, probably maybe the injury he was struggling since the injury, but Weston have really were dominant before he came off the ground, so it's back for Berlin now. Just for the last 15 minutes, I don't know what it was, but they just turned the screws. The first 20 minutes, Weston just looked out of their depth out there. They were turning balls over, gifting goals away, gifting the second goal to Kale Bradbury, and then all of a sudden they've turned up and Broadmeadow are under pressure. Piddington now down the line looking for Finlayson, so Broadmeadow starting to come back a little bit. Finlayson putting it back post. Pettit, just got away there from Brock Oakley, got his head in, or Pettit was going to score. Put back in again. Piddington flying in again. Weston do well. Comes out again. A long-range effort. Goes wide. Toing and froing now, this one. Broadmeadow with a few chances. Fighting back after Weston's dominance of late.
Yeah, haven't we picked a good game to go to? I know Magic were dominating the first 20 minutes, but now that Weston have got their groove back about them in the next 20 minutes, but it's made a real game of it, and I think the scoreline says it all. 2-1. 3 goals in half an hour. 40 minutes, sorry, and I think Weston are now a big chance in this game.
Well, here's Hoole now. Cross going back to Casaroli. Casaroli playing back to Archbold. And if it wasn't for Nathan Archbold's brilliant save on Gary McDermott's first chance, it would be 2-2 here this afternoon.
You said before, what's...
Watch Herefield. He has a shot off. Finlayson does well again. Now he plays it through as an offside. Back to you, Blake.
Yeah, you asked before what about Weston has made them improve. I think Jamie Subat and Gary McDermott have really stood up for the Bears. They needed someone to stand up, and they've stood up as a partnership. They obviously combined for that shot that made Archbold pull off that save, and then they combined for the goal. So those two have done really well, as is Robbie Turnbull, who's got the ball on the right-hand side now. Looks for a cut back, beats everyone, and Scott Pettit clears to Chris Berlin.
Yeah, well, they've been, I was saying, probably when Broadmeadow were dominating that opening 20 minutes, Jamie Subat was the beacon of light for Weston, and then Gary McDermott has combined with him wonderfully since then, and set up a few chances. Herefield, Scott Pettit standing right there, and the ref's going to say the mark's back here, so...
Yeah, that'll suit Weston, though. They wanted to take it quick, didn't they? But now they've got Nathan Morris, their free kick specialist, probably the competition's free kick specialist, standing over it. So if he can curl one in towards Archbold, anyone can get a touch on it. It could go goal bound.
Well, here we go. Probably looking for Herefield. Here's Morris now, looking back post. Thornton. Carl Thornton going low, and it just clipped the top of his head and continued on its merry way over the byline. Just didn't get that enough of a touch to change the direction, and another goal kick for Nathan Archbold in the final 4 minutes now of regulation time in the first half on Bar TV. This is the round 8 match of the round between Broadmeadow and Weston here at Magic Park.
It's been an interesting start to the season, hasn't it? I think I'm just going to get the table out now on my phone and have a look how many goals we'll have this season. But I will dare say that this season will.
It's been a goal fest.
Yeah, I reckon I think there was 298 goals scored in the NPL last season. I think there could be more this season.
Well, here's Thornton. The quality of players, attacking-wise, has been great for the competition. I think that could have an impact. Ball down the line. Thornton, Finlayson does well to control from him. Casaroli goes to Pettit. Pettit's got Chris Berlin inside him. He plays it to him. And Chris Berlin now has got space and time, and his ball wasn't great. It's gone straight to Zach Snedden. Snedden with the ball over the top, but no one reading off the same page as he was there, and Nathan Archbold plays it to Piddington, Josh Piddington, the back for Broadmeadow.
Yeah, the mobile version of the NPL website doesn't allow for and against. It's only got played, win, draw, loss, and points. So might have it somewhere else.
Here's Turnbull now. Robbie Turnbull. From all reports, he played an awesome game last weekend, and he's been just as good this week. Racing down the right side and now moving across to the left. Here's McDermott looking out there for Brock Oakley. Fajkovic is also out there, but Oakley couldn't control, and it runs down and over the byline. A goal kick for Nathan Archbold. I think Broadmeadow, the amount of goals they've scored is certainly going to add to those goals. Going to go a long way to making sure of a bigger goal count in the NPL this year. Here's Sangin now. Goes to Bradbury. Cale Bradbury go to Sangin again. Plays now to Chris Berlin. Chris Berlin off the post. Oh, gee whiz. That was close. That was very, very close for Broadmeadow. And Tim Pratt in the end will have the goal kick. Well, well, well. A couple of golden opportunities probably for both sides. Archbold with the save and that one into the post, so it's probably evened itself out in the end. Tim Pratt goes long. Turnbull with a bit of push in the back on Hoole. Sangin is going to give away a free kick for the handball. And Chris Berlin will probably be disappointed he didn't finish that one. Nathan Morris again over the free kick.
Yeah, he will be very disappointed he couldn't finish that one. Only the woodwork denying Magic the chance to get their 2-goal lead back. It would have been great to take a 3-1 lead into the half-time break.
But I was saying, Blake, I think it's probably a fair reflection of the game, the fact that one did go out, because Weston was so unlucky with that Archbold save, reflex save down low. So probably evened itself out in the end, the first half.
Yeah, and if you remember back to the game we did last week, South Cardiff missed a great chance, didn't they, just before half-time, and then Edgeworth went down the other end and scored, and that really changed the game. So let's see if Weston can do that here.
Well, here's Nathan Morris. Referee saying, no, take it back. No magic spray to show Nathan Morris where the spot actually was, unfortunately. Here's Morris. Looks low, but it's gone straight to Finlayson. And Finlayson goes to Pettit, so a chance for the Magic to break quickly. Here's Pettit, he goes wide for Cale Bradbury. He's got Sangin, who's flying up on the inside.
It's 4-on-4 here.
Well, here he is. He's looking back post. Pettit, now for Chris Berlin. It's nutmegged him. Nutmegged in attack, Chris Berlin, but he does well to regather. Still just holding it up, Berlin, playing it back inside now for Fajkovic, back to Berlin, and it'll run over the byline. And it's going to be a goal kick for Tim Pratt again in the Western goals.
Yeah, we're 30 seconds into injury time this first half. I know we had a sub, and Haynes was down for a bit, so we'll probably just get the 1 minute. The referee's got his whistle in his mouth.
You think this will probably be the last play of the half? We'll see. No, I'm going to continue on for a little bit here. Goes back for Piddington. He rockets that one up here down towards the commentary box. That didn't hit anything soft. And it's back now for Edwards for the throw. And a referee says that will do us for the first half. It's been exciting, it's been entertaining, and it's been energetic. And it's at halftime. It's Broadmeadow 2 leading Weston 1 at halftime And Blake's going to take you through a summary of the first stanza.
Yeah, so we had six big points in this first half. Obviously, the 6 minute we had Peter Haynes head Magic into the lead off the Scott Pettit corner. The 17th minute, Magic went ahead 2-0. Peter Haynes with a little steal of a Western player about 20 metres out. Cale Bradbury ran onto it and slotted into the bottom right-hand corner. 29th minute, we saw McDermott and Subak combine well. Subak cut back to McDermott, but his shot was superbly saved by Nathan Archbold. 5 minutes later, the two combined for Weston's first goal. Subak cut back to McDermott again, who this time slotted into the bottom left. In the 44th minute, moments ago, we seen Sinjin to Berlin. Berlin rolled his defender and had a shot cannon off the post. And then obviously the sixth biggest talking point was Peter Haynes' injury and having to come off the field. He was replaced by Chris Berlin. So it was a very good half, another very good match of the round. 2-1 here at Magic Park, and we're going to go into the halftime break.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Hello and welcome back. Second half action here. We're about to get underway. Weston and Broadmeadow here at Magic Park. Doing a little bit of a jig. Jamie Subat and Gary McDermott. Two of the stars from Weston's perspective in the first half, and we're underway. Second half action here at Magic Park.
Yeah, so Ben, obviously, just before we went into the halftime break, I talked about Hamilton leading over there at Darling Street Oval. They scored another goal just before halftime through Matt Swan. Or was it Matt Swan or Andrew Swan? It was one of the two. I better go back and have a look.
They both look pretty alike, so...
Yeah, so it was 3-1 there at halftime.
Yeah, so Hamilton getting the job done so far. It's going to be Nathan Morris.
It was Matt Swan, sorry.
Matt Swan. Matt Swan with the goal. So Hamilton 3-1 up. We'll see if Weston can get one early on in the second half. It's got pretty cold here at Broadmeadow. The second half. Here's a ball in back post. Oh, close. It was all tripped over each other down there. It was Thornton and Thornton, the two brothers, almost cleaning each other up as Herefield now. Herefield turning, going away to McDermott. McDermott has a long-range shot. Bit of an uneven bounce, but it goes to Nathan Archbold. Now Matt Hoole down the left-hand side for Broadmeadow. Goes to Berlin. Of course, if you've just joined us, Peter Haynes injured in the first half. Piddington across the left for Higgins. He's going to go to Finlayson now. And Broadmeadow, as we found out midweek, they've drawn South Armidale in the FFA Cup. So that one's going ahead on the 20th and 21st of June, where there's no NPL matches. Adamstown also playing. Also Edgeworth playing in the competition. So it'll be interesting to see how the sides go. Here's a challenge from Pettit on Wilson Edwards, and the free kick goes the way of Weston. A little bit of push and shove going on out there. Subat and Josh Piddington on this near side. Now Pettit and Wilson Edwards. So definitely a bit of feeling out there. Troy Herefield back and across to Nathan Morris. And now he's turned it over. Nathan Morris with a heavy touch. Fajkovic down the left is going to sit up nicely for him. He's got Bradbury on the inside. He tries to crack. In the end, he was trying to crack a shot. And it's going to be a corner going the way of Broadmeadow.
There's some slight rain falling as well that we can see, so let's hope that doesn't get any heavier.
Yeah, it's just been drizzly the whole day here. You're in Newcastle as Pettit now looking near stick. Tim Pratt does well. Swats it away. Back for Fajkovic now. Fajkovic looking in, and Thornton does well to heads it away to Snedden. Trying to make up for that earlier error, Zach Snedden, with turning it over to Peter Haynes, who teed up Cale Bradbury. Ball put in it. Brock Oakley with a deflection, and now with Fajkovic with a shot. And it goes wide. Tim Pratt with the goal kick. They've come out with the same energy that they started the first half. Broadmeadow, Blake, they're trying to get more goals.
Yeah, they needed to, didn't they? Though Weston got back there in the second half, and it was semi-even going into the break, I think. Obviously, Magic dominated the first 20, and Weston dominated the next 20, and then I think the last 5 were fairly even. So both sides will be looking to get back on top here in the second half.
Well, here's Liam Thornton going to Subat. Subat trying to get into the 18. He almost trips over. He does well to stay on his feet. Weston were asking for the free kick. There's a clearance deflecting off Thornton and to Casaroli. We were talking about in the first half about which sides we thought here's a free kick going to Weston. Which sides would struggle to beat? Which sides Magic would struggle to beat? And you were saying attacking sides, Blake, and I was agreeing with that. But Weston, who have been the best defensive side all year, as we've spoken about, after the opening 20 minutes sort of wore off and Magic's dominance wore off, Weston have come right back into the game. So maybe there's a different blueprint to challenging Magic in 2015. Because it seems to be have been those attacking sides. Hamilton, Adamstown, Lambton that have challenged him. Here's a great free kick, and Archbold's just got a touch to it. Oh, gee. I'd like to see that from another angle, whether that was going in or not. If Nathan Archbold didn't get a touch to it, got a little touch and it went up onto the crossbar and over. And he's been the difference between Magic leading 2-1 and Magic going down 3-2. That's 2 crucial saves he's made now. Morris now. Magic running in. Not his best effort from Nathan Morris. Piddington now. Hool whipping it up the line. Zach Snedden now controls it nicely. He's got plenty of men at the back post, but Piddington, ball wasn't high enough, and it just goes to Piddington. Bradbury now. Cale Bradbury. Speed across the pitch now, looking for Fajkovic, but Robbie Turnbull gets back, ever present as always, and Weston survived that little counter-attack from Broadmeadow. Did you think that free kick was going in, Blake, if Archbold doesn't get a touch?
I think so. I think if he didn't get a touch, it might have hit the underside of the crossbar and gone in.
Well, here's it back for Morris. Yeah, I think it definitely would have hit the post, whether it went in or not. That's another matter, but Piddington across to Higgins. Of course, his birthday today, we found out at halftime. Magic grounded out to putting that out to all the patrons. It'll be a nice birthday present for him if Magic kept their undefeated streak alive. Oh, he's a tough challenge from Snedden, but Finlayson, as he's done all afternoon, bounces away. Sungin, he played in the J3 league in Japan, which is Japan's 3rd tier league last year. So a good find from Broadmeadow. He came off the bench on Monday night. Rangers starting to get a little bit heavy here at Magic Park. Hool over on the left, back to Piddington. Now for Higgins. Sangin, plenty of space out there. Now across to Finlayson, back to Pettit. Pettit back to Finlayson. Finlayson again, looking down the line, Sangin, but Carl Thornton does well, getting a foot in, goes to his brother Liam now for Snedden. McDermott plays it to Subat, who's offside, and that little raid for Weston goes out the window, and a free kick will go to Broadmeadow. We've gone 52 and a half minutes in the game this afternoon at Magic Park. It's Broadmeadow 2, leading Weston 1. Those 2 goal scorers for Broadmeadow, it was Peter Haynes with a header from a corner, and then he set up Cale Bradbury in the 17th minute after it was turned over by Zach Snedden and was put into the back of the net by Cale Bradbury, probably one of his easiest goals of the season. And then Gary McDermott got one back for the visitors. Turnbull goes down. No free kick. He just bounces back up. Robbie Turnbull played back towards McDermott. Higgins goes to Hool. Casaroli turned over. Subat. McDermott. His combination with Subat's been wonderful this afternoon. Sangin goes down. No free kick given. And it's going to be a goal kick in the end for Archbold. Got a bit of a limp, Sangin. I think just got a bit of a recall from a shot from Subat. And it will be Archbold to knock this one up the ground.
Interesting to see over the scoreboard the results from the youth games yesterday. Magic winning all 4 of those grades. As you mentioned earlier, the 19s here had a 1-1 draw, and Weston won 22s 1-0. So a Magic win here today would make it a shared day for the clubs, with a win, a loss, and a draw each.
Archbold just controlling it nicely. In the end, he's turned it over. Turnbull, he's got a pull on the back. There's got to be a free kick. Well, there's got to be a free kick there, surely. It's a massive pull back from from Matt Hoole. Robbie Turnbull is absolutely livid with the decision from the referee about the amount of times he's been fouled. And Nathan Morris is going to take the free kick.
He got pulled back there, didn't he? Then he got tripped, and then he got up, and then he got tripped again. Nathan Morris not happy with that ball. Wants a new one.
Well, I can't believe there was no free kick the first time. The referee, I think he may have been trying to play advantage, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But couldn't believe there was no free kick being given. It was just a cynical foul from Hoole grabbing the back of the shirt. But here's Morris. They had a chance from a corner in the opening moments of the second half. We'll see what he can do this time. Morris back pick. Here it is. It's Carl Thornton. It's 2-2. There was no one around him. They could have driven a bus through the goals there. And he just dove in and puts it in the back of the net. Well, I don't know where the defence was for Broadmeadow, but it was non-existent at best.
Yeah, that's got to be something that Weston have worked on. You've seen a couple of players make a few different runs in different directions. We saw Liam Thornton come steaming towards the near post, and a couple of players moved back towards Weston's own goal, and it just left Carl Thornton free. He's got to head on a few Nathan Morris set pieces already today, and that one goes into the back of the net. So that
Here's
really
Turnbull all of a sudden down the right. Weston are turning the screws now, trying to play it back towards Herefield now. Free-giver tries to round Sangin, and Matt Hoole does well, and knocks it up the line. Well, knocks it infield in the end, cross to the left, and it'll run down for Liam Thornton. I just couldn't believe he was just on his own, Carl Thornton, at the back post, and haven't we got a cracking last 35 minutes of this one this afternoon at Magic Park. Here's Thornton. Can he get away from Finlayson? Going down into the corner. Still down in the corner there. It's like they're trying to defend a lead, Weston. So here goes Wilson Edwards. It comes back for Subat. Subat trying to square it. They do very, very well. Casaroli, I think it hit his legs. And another throw for Weston. Well, well, well. How quickly a game can change. And now for Edwards. Didn't get enough of a bend on that one. Back for Herefield, long range effort. Archbold did well in the end to control after it was bouncing rather awkwardly off the surface. And Archbold will knock this one up the ground. So 3-1 in the other game this afternoon. Hamilton over Charlestown. Here at Magic Park, it's 2-2. Magic led 2-0 after 17, and we thought it was another procession. Blake, you got some info?
Yeah, we've obviously had our fourth goal of the game here in the 55th minute, and so did Darling Street Oval. Jacob Bailey got a double, so he's second of the game, and Hamilton now lead Charlestown 4-1.
So
that's their fifth goal of the game, sorry. Hamilton's fourth.
I thought you were going to say 5-1 already. It was starting to rain goals at Darling Street, but it is starting to rain even heavier now here at Broadmeadow, just as the game's starting to heat up. So hopefully it's only a passing shower and it goes away, because it has been an enthralling contest on Bar TV. I'm going to say the best game we've had so far this season. We had the Jaffers play Weston up at Weston. That was a pretty good game. Adamstown and Hamilton was up there as well, but this one this afternoon has had everything. Back to Hoole. Hoole, a challenge from Turnbull. Lets him get away. Goes across the surface. Snedden has put it straight into the path of Fajkovic, who plays in Scott Pettit. Pettit down the right-hand side for Broadmeadow. He cuts it back. Sangin. Header has gone parallel to the goals, and Carl Thornton does well to get it away. But if you haven't got mud on your shirt today, you haven't done your job. I think that's the story. And Western players are going to have very dirty gear at the conclusion of this one. The white on their shirts is gradually going to turn to brown throughout the rest of the afternoon. Subat with a great challenge now. Tries to get away. Pettit comes at him hard. McDermott came very hard to Josh Piddington on Jamie Subat. Herefield now. Sangin does well. Almost scored from the header a moment ago. Back for Higgins. Under pressure from McDermott. Here's a little bit of fisticuffs. There is feeling out here today. Higgins, and now Piddington throws him away. Here's a yellow card coming out. The birthday boy wasn't happy at all there with Gary McDermott. Robbie Turnbull is now blowing up at the referee. He better be careful or he's going to get himself in the referee's books. So is it Piddington that's got the card? It's not Ben Higgins. So it's Josh Piddington with the card. And Blake, wow.
Yeah, Piddington came in there to break it up. Maybe didn't realise how strong he was, or maybe he tried to do it, but he's pulled Gary McDermott onto the ground. He's lucky it was only a yellow card. It could have been a red with another referee on another day.
We don't want to do it. They don't want to do anything stupid here, Broadmeadow or Weston. So a red card right now can just turn this game around, and it's going to be Nathan Morris standing over it. So, wow.
Yeah, one thing Magic don't want to do is give away free kicks, because we've seen already Nathan Morris has hit the crossbar and he's set up a goal. He's showed year after year that he's the set piece specialist for Weston, and Magic are finding that out in the second half.
Well, here he is, Nathan Morris. He looks, Archbold again, fumbles it, got a little bit of a knee from Liam Thornton. Crowd getting into it, getting right into it this afternoon. This one out here at Magic Park, of course, still a little bit of ill feeling after Peter Haynes was forced to leave the ground after a Troy Herefield challenge in the first half, which earned Troy Herefield a yellow card. And it's down the line. Scott Pettit trying to cut inside. And Carl Thornton does well to knock it up the ground.
Yeah, no scores from the Hamilton game as of yet, but I know we were at the NPL here, but we'll give an update in the Knights game. The Warriors are leading the Knights 24-20 with 4 minutes to go.
Let's hope the Knights can get over there in New Zealand. The Knights won the first game 24-14 this year, so 24 seems to be the number in battles between those two sides this year. As here's Oakley now, down the line looking for Jamie Subat. Runs down towards Piddington and goes over the sideline. And what's happened here? Piddington's gone down. So Piddington is Gary McDermott, Ben Higgins, just having a chat to the referee. Was there a challenge a moment ago on Piddington? He did. I'm trying to think where.
Yeah, they're not happy about something, but I can't really remember one. So,
but this match, gee whiz, the amount of whinging at the referee and blowing up is going on out there.
It was a lot of feeling, isn't it? It's a great game. We've already had 4 goals and a couple of yellow cards, a couple of injuries. It's got everything today. We've had the
Dynamite's there. They just need a fuse now, and hopefully we don't see that. It's back now for Carl Thornton. Just hope we don't see any red cards, because here we go now. They're blowing up about something. The throw now. Blowing up about the throw. Finlayson now. Down the line. Pettit. And now for Cale Bradbury. And he's turned it over now. Back for Herefield. Herefield's going to have men all around him. Back for Nathan Morris. Morris, well, it's goes back for Pratt. It's definitely cooled down here at Magic Park, but it's heating up on the field. It's making up for the drop in temperature. Subat. Cross for Snedden. Now for Robbie Turnbull. Turnbull trying to take it into the 18. See what he can do down the line. Robbie Turnbull. Can he whip one in? It's Hoole again who's all over him. Still all over him. Turnbull wins the corner. Blake.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the battle here to watch in the rest of this game is the Western number 10, Gary McDermott, and the two Magic centre-backs, Piddington and Higgins. That seems like there's a lot of feeling in that battle there, and I think that's where it'll really heat up.
We'll get everyone around the TV, the computer, whatever you're watching us on here this afternoon, and see these last few moments of the game. It's still in the box. Piddington clears it away, because this game has still got its best yet to come. Here's Nathan Morris on the right-hand side. Down the line looking for Turnbull. Piddington's also running down there. Knocks it up the line towards Chris Berlin. Chris Berlin looking long, and getting back there is Wilson Edwards. He does well enough across to Nathan Morris, who knocks it up the line towards Hoole. Hoole towards Berlin, but it's Oakley. And it's turned back to Piddington. Now Snedden with doing the his best impression of doing the splits. Here's Fadjovic down the left-hand side for Broadmeadow. Can he get them in front? He cuts it back. It's with a shot. Oh, Tim Pratt. It was Scott Pettit who tried to pass it in, and Tim Pratt got down and stopped it. As though he had superhuman powers there, Tim Pratt. Just stopped the ball in its tracks. I think Scott Pettit's going to be wondering why he didn't lash at that one. Tim Pratt did a fantastic job. Hoole, Berlin now. Back again for Hoole. Hoole goes to Casaroli. Berlin now. Berlin down the left-hand side, Chris Berlin. Trying to back for Casaroli. Liam Thornton does well to pressure him. Sangin now, across the ground. He's got Finlayson asking for it. He goes to Mike Finlayson. Goes across to Scott Pettit. Scott Pettit now to Finlayson. Chris Berlin playing on the left in the second half. He was playing on the right when he first came on, and Scott Pettit's gone back to the right. So I think there could be some sort of tactical decision in that. And you were talking about how important Scott Pettit was for Broadmeadow on the right, Blake, and they've moved him back into that position in the second half.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? And I think that'll be a very good move. I think as Dino Fadjovic come back into the midfield to play next to Casaroli and Sanjin, maybe Magic might go to 2 up front and play a 4-4-2. We've got a substitution here now as Josh Piddington is coming off.
So this could be another injury, I think. Scott
it does
for
look
Josh
like,
Piddington. It's going to be Callan Lewis who comes onto the ground. Now, I don't know much about Callan Lewis. What do you know, Blake?
He's a midfielder, so I'm assuming it looks like Casaroli's going to come back into the centre of defence to play with Higgins, and Cal Lewis is going to play in the centre of the park.
You'd need to have a good warm-up today. It's hard to run to the ground when it's just spitting with rain. It is this afternoon, just that cold and the cold air as well. So hope for Callan's sake he's had a decent warm-up.
It's a funny-looking backline for Magic, isn't it? You've got Casaroli, who's a centre midfielder, Mike Finlayson, who played up front last year, and Matt Hill, who's always played as an attacking midfielder. So the only real fullback back there is Ben Higgins, so that could be the undoing of Magic in this game. Matt Hill's done an exceptional job this season in his move to left back, and Casaroli's a defensive midfielder, so he should be able to cope, but it is a very strange-looking backline.
Well, it shows you it shows you the attacking nature of Broadmeadow, because they've got those 2 centre backs and they've got the men on the left and the right, just trying to push forward and attack really with Finlayson on the right and on the left Matt Hoole. So here's Scott Pettit with the free kick. As Peter Haynes off the ground, not his best effort, and that's gone over the byline. A goal kick in result for Weston. Do you think that could be their undoing this season if Magic are beat specialists at the back?
I don't really think it'll be their undoing. They've got Piddington and Ben Higgins, who obviously do a great job, and as I said, Matt Hill's come along well. They've just got John Griffiths back onto the bench, so he's another great defender for them. We've got a substitution now, obviously, with Troy Hearfield coming off, and it looks to be Rob Macbeth coming on, the number 14 for the Bears.
Scored a goal this year, Rob Macbeth. He scored when Lambton met Weston. Just trying to hear there if there are any boos for Hearfield as he left the ground from the Magic faithful. He's been tough as always, Troy Hearfield, for Weston and for Charlestown, of course, last year. Troy Hearfield, as it runs down towards Subat, Finlayson is just gonna run down over the sideline, and it's going to be a throw for Weston. So a couple of substitutions, just taking the sting out of the game. We're 24 into the second half, or 69 into the game now. So with 21 to go in regulation time. Wilson Edwards with the throw.
Yeah, just another point about how you asked, could that be Magic's undoing? I think, in a way, if they adapt well, it does benefit them. Like now, with John Griffiths coming off the bench, they can pull anyone off because, you know, they pull off a striker, they pull off Kale, and Dino can move up, and Casaroli can move into the midfield, and then John Griffiths can go on the back, or they can just make a straight substitution from the back. So it gives them a bit of variety, Magic, and I think it's one thing that has assisted them this year.
Well, have a look at this. There's about 5. There's like 10 players in a 2 metre 2-metre boxes. Here it goes back stick. It's Carl Thornton with the header. He plays it back to Macbeth. It goes further back. A hit from McDermott. And now Magic are away down the left-hand side through Fajkovic. He plays in Bradbury. It's going to sit nicely for Cale Bradbury. He goes down the left side. Counter-attack from Broadmeadow. He plays it into Fajkovic. Oh, and if he got a touch, it was in the back of the net. He didn't, and that's, well, very, very lucky for Tim Pratt and Weston there, Blake.
Very lucky indeed. It was a very good cross. And if it had have come a second or two later, Fajkovic, I reckon, would have got on the end of it and buried it. But it's a very interesting game. The second half has been just as good as the first half. We're 25 minutes in, which means we've got 20 minutes to go. And it's going to be a great finish to this game.
Well, here's Pettit. Can he get onto it? It's going to be a corner for Broadmeadow. I was going to say before we had the break, the counter from Broadmeadow. The amount of sides that have got that very versatile lineup. Of course, Edgeworth as well. Damien Zane was talking about how versatile he makes his side. So when they did go down to 10 men against Lambton, they were able to adapt, of course, with Broadmeadow as well. So a lot of sides nowadays with a lot of utility players, not players that play in specified positions. As here's Pettit on the right. See what he can muster. It goes to Higgins, and Higgins' header is not going anywhere near the goals, and it runs back towards Hoole. Subat trying to hold him off. Subat does well and wins a free kick. Yeah, Blake, what do you think it's a... Oh, hang on, we'll see if they can go quickly, and then I'll go back to that. And it's been kept in nicely by Macbeth. He plays in Turnbull now. Turnbull down the right, back to Macbeth. Macbeth playing it back post, well controlled. Subat, it's in the back of the net. Weston are in front at Magic Park. And it's Jamie Subat who's finished it. Well, can you believe that, Blake? They went down 2-0, and all of a sudden, it's 3-2 midway through the second half.
No. If you had have asked me at half-time, did I think that was going to happen after the break, I would have definitely said no. It's amazing stuff here from Weston. It's been an even second half in terms of opportunities and field positioning, but Weston have taken their chances, and then that's got them back in front. We've seen a couple of substitutions here after that goal. Reece Tippett's just come onto the field. And Jake Milstead's come on for Weston, replacing Liam Thornton.
Well, that's going to add a little bit more speed to Weston. Jake Milstead coming out onto the ground for them. Wow. Well. Archbold now looking up, and this is going to run over the sideline. We saw the pressure get put on Broadmeadow earlier in the year. They fought back, got a win over Adamstown, so they know how to get themselves out of positions where they are behind late. Just be interesting to see how they deal with it this time. Yeah, back to the players with the teams with utility players and players that can play anywhere. Do you think that's a growing trend in world football?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think it's a good thing. Like, it's definitely needed. Like, Magic have Alex Kanarowski and Luke Vigili both injured. I know Kanarowski's for the season. I don't know how long Vigili will be out for. So I think that shows, it highlights the importance of utility players, because they're two good defenders that have gone, and the utility players have come back and they're doing a good job.
Well, here goes Milstead down the left-hand side. He's got McDermott inside. He sort of looked like he got his foot stuck in the ground there. But we've spoken about the ground at the start and how we thought it could play a part in the match this afternoon, and it hasn't even looked like it's played any part whatsoever.
No, it doesn't, does it? It's been a good game. It hasn't been scrappy at all. There's been a lot of counter-attacks, and most of the football's been played on the deck. So it's been a great game.
Do you think Magic were complacent? Up 2-0. They got a big win over Jets Youth. They just rolled on through. We'll just wait for this corner. And then they went up 2-0 very early. Here's Morris with a bending corner. Thornton with the header just wide. Yeah, do you think they were complacent today after going ahead 2-0 after 17?
I don't know about complacency. They probably were doing it a little bit easier than what they did at the start of the game, but Weston are just naturally a team that fights and never gives up, and I think that's been the real turning point. Weston's attitude and fighting spirit rather than Magic's.
They didn't put their head down, did they, Weston? As here's a ball for Subat, Archbold. He has been wonderful for Broadmeadow this afternoon. So just over 15 to go. 75, almost 75 minutes gone. It's Casaroli, cross to Matt Hoole. It was Peter Haynes, put them ahead 1-0 Broadmeadow in the opening 5. Bradbury in the 17th would put them ahead 2-0. And always Bradbury diving in. No free kick. Now for Turnbull. Ball across, but being turned over. Higgins now, who's now got the captain's armband after they lost 2 of their captains today, Broadmeadow. It seems to be the curse. The captain's armband curse for Broadmeadow today. Haynes got injured, then Piddington got injured. So a real blow for them. Tim Pratt now. Up and over halfway. Decent bounce, even though the pitch is pretty muddy in the middle section. Now for Casaroli. Higgins. This is where Weston love it. This is where they love their opponents to be. Behind, and they can just grind it down. It's Macbeth now. And it runs back, so here we go. Can the home side get back into it? Hoole down the line looking for Berlin. Doesn't have the speed to get that there that quickly. And it's going to be a throw going the way of Weston. 3-2 this afternoon. It's Weston leading Broadmeadow Magic on Bar TV. The best match we've had so far. So get everyone round and enjoy the final 15 of the game. As now to Lewis. Free kick goes the way of Broadmeadow. I don't think many people saw this result coming today. Casaroli up forward for Fajkovic. Bounces back over towards Berlin. Berlin does well, Chris Berlin. He puts it in the middle. Oh, he had Reese Tippett inside, who's come onto the ground. So almost another chance. But in saying in the second half, it's probably been pretty even from both sides. Magic probably had just the better of the chances. A couple of unlucky efforts from them. Here's a ball in. The header is over from Mike Finlayson. Goal kick for Tim Pratt. Dino Fajkovic had a great chance, just didn't get on the end of it. Scott Pettit didn't put his laces through one, and Tim Pratt saved it on the line. Just to name a couple for Broadmeadow. Four wins over Maitland for Broadmeadow yesterday, and a draw and a loss for their sides today. Here is McDermott after it. Higgins does well to knock it away, and it runs down to Archbold. Keeps it inside his 18. Casaroli now. Dan Casaroli scored on Monday night. Blake.
Just around the grounds.
We'll just see Chris Berlin just for a sec. Here's Berlin on the right. Plays it back for Bradbury. See if Kale can knock one in. He does so. Goes back post. Pettit's shot leaves a bit to be desired and score.
Sorry, yeah, I was just waiting for it to load. Around the ground, 67th minute, which was 10 minutes ago at Hamilton Darling Street Oval. Scott Smith has got on the scoreboard for Charlestown, and it's now Hamilton 4 leading Charlestown 2.
Has Kane Goodchild scored any this Arvo?
He hasn't, no.
Well, there you go. So he hasn't been able to get one against his former club, Kane Goodchild. And it's going to be Tim Pratt knocking one over halfway for Weston. Higgins gets the foot in. Now for Oakley. Well, he was in a little bit of a battle with Oakley and Fajkovic, but now on the far side with Macbeth going to Wilson Edwards, who goes now towards Subat, who was offside, and free kick goes towards the home side.
Yeah, so obviously coming into this game, a Western win would have taken them to third if Hamilton lost, but Hamilton, it looks like they're not going to lose. So if Hamilton ended up winning, no matter what the result was here, Western would stay fourth. But obviously a win for Western would keep them closer to the pack and to take them a little bit closer to Magic and keep them in the title race, I guess.
And what makes it really interesting is next week's match, Edgeworth. I was just thinking in my head about the sides that have played in the top four and how Western have played Magic today, and Magic and Hamilton, and the battles that they've played this year. But next week, Edgeworth, of course, they were beaten by Magic and Hamilton. They've got Weston next week, so it'll be interesting to see how they've improved since those battles with Magic and Hamilton. Are they up the top? Are they up at the top of the ladder for a reason, or is it because that they've played some of the weaker sides in recent weeks? As here goes Hoole, so a test for Damien Zane's men next weekend on Bar TV at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Played wide now for Scott Pettit. Can he curl one back post? Fajkovic with a header, and Magic are back. It's 3-3. It's Dino Fajkovic with the goal. Broadmeadow and Weston back level at 3-3 in the second half, and we've still got 10 to go, Blake.
Yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? This game just keeps on getting better and better. A good header there from Dino Fajkovic. He looked like he was never going to miss. We've got another sub here. Jacob Golding coming on for Jamie Subat. But yeah, a good cross in there from Pettit. An extremely strong header from Dino Fajkovic. 3-3 gives us a very interesting finish, Ben.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Both sides want the 3 points. You just sense Magic deserved that goal. And it's Tippett trying to play it down the line. Now, we did have a substitution while I just went to sort out the score. And for Weston, so it's Jamie Subat off the ground for them. And running down. And it's looks to be over on that far side. It's back for Snedden now. And now for Nathan Morris. Looking across to the far side for Adam Pearce, who's just come on the ground. As we did for Subat, who's been wonderful this afternoon.
Yeah, Jacob.
Sorry, it's Jacob Golding.
Jacob Golding has just come on. Adam Pearce is a substitute goalkeeper.
Oh. Lucky he's not out there then. They're playing ultra defensive Weston. He's Golding now down the left-hand side. He whips one in. Oh! Archbold just letting it run past him. And it's a goal kick for Nathan Archbold in goals. So will they share the points this afternoon, these two sides? Or will we see a late one? We got 82 minutes gone. 3-3 the score. Bar TV's match of the round in round 8, and it definitely has been the match of the round. I haven't been to the other games, but I'm going to say it. 6 goals. 2 at the start for Broadmeadow. Weston got 3 unanswered goals back, and then Dino Fajkovic with a header after Scott Pettit put one right on his noggin. And it's going to be a throw for Wilson Edwards on the far side of the ground.
It's something that you wouldn't expect coming into this game. I guess from Magic's point of view, yes, but Weston coming into the game had scored 9 and conceded 6, so a 3-3 draw is completely uncharacteristic of their season.
Yeah, that's right. They've been so defensive, and 2 weeks in a row now, Weston have conceded 3. As we said, they conceded. Here goes Turnbull down the right. He goes down. He's handballed it, and the referee says no free kick. Well, that's a funny one for Robbie Turnbull. He went to grab the ball expecting a free kick, didn't get it, and gives away the free kick to Matt Hoole and Broadmeadow Magic. Here's Hoole looking long. Magic fans getting right into it. Here is the ball from Callan Lewis across to Pettit. Back to Lewis. Now to Bradbury. Back to Lewis. Callan Lewis with a shot. And he's smashed that over. And it's a goal kick for Tim Pratt.
Yeah, the lights lit up there, didn't they? He's seen his name in the paper in the morning. And
back page story, yeah. Callan Lewis with a stunner.
And he's just lost his composure there at the last minute. And I think it may have taken a bobble and come off the side of his right boot. But we've got 6 minutes of normal time remaining, and it's still 3-3, so a big finish to come.
Well, this battle between Robbie Turnbull and Matt Hoole has been awesome this afternoon. Robbie Turnbull he's got mud all over him. Here's Chris Berlin looking back, and now it's with McDermott. McDermott, he's been good this afternoon. No foul. Yep, there is a foul. Here get the crowd are getting right into it below us here at Magic Park. The atmosphere is is very electric. Great to have your company. Next week it's Edgeworth and Weston on Bar TV. Hopefully it's half as good as this one we've had today, and it'll be a good game.
Yeah, we'll just wait for this free kick. It comes in
here
from
he
Nathan
is.
Morris. Carl Thornton on the back stick. He's hit the side netting again. How many times are those two combined today? I think it must be about 4 or 5 times. And Carl Thornton's hit the side netting twice. He's missed a couple and he scored one. So they're a couple of combinations for Weston. The Subat and McDermott combination when Subat was on the field, and the Carl Thornton and Nathan Morris combination have been very strong today for Weston.
Well, he scored the equaliser, did Carl Thornton, as an attempted ball through from Finlayson. Didn't get anywhere near his intended target. Matt Houle across to Berlin. Chris Berlin keeping it in. Back to Houle. Houle now with the ball goes to Fajkovic, who scored Magic's equaliser to get it back to 3. Here's McDermott, Callan Lewis all over him. Now back for Nathan Morris. Up the line for Turnbull. Flicks it on for Milstead. Casaroli with a bit of pressure from Jake Milstead. The fresh shirt for Milstead because he's only just come onto the ground. All the other Western shirts looking quite dirty this afternoon, as now it's with Finlayson trying to put one over the top. It's running down towards Pratt. Bradbury put the pressure on him, but it'll run down and a chance for us to take a breath. Or hang on, maybe not. It's Jacob Golding on the left, and a throw goes the way of Weston.
Yeah, you said before we got Edgeworth and Weston next week. We had Magic and Weston here today, and then the week after next we've got Magic and Olympics. So we're blessed, aren't we, on Bar TV with 3 top 4 matches in a row.
Yeah, we're going to have a few in a row now here on Bar TV. We've gone to most of the club's home grounds. The only one we haven't gone to yet is Hamilton, and that will be round 10 for that match against Broadmeadow. So that is going to be an entertaining one. Bar TV had the match last year at Darling Street. Here's an offside going Magic's way. Free kick will be taken, and it was a 3-0 win I believe, for Broadmeadow. They had a tough season, but I believe they got the job done there. 3-0 at Darling Street. I'll have to check that one back, but not certain, but pretty sure, as it goes back to Tim Pratt. The scoreline was definitely 3-0. As here goes Robbie Turnbull. Down the line looking for Jake Milstead. Milstead down the right-hand side trying to cut inside. Casaroli put the pressure on. He keeps it in. Nicely cuts it back. It's now with McDermott. Gary McDermott. He scored the winner against Lambton. Back for Golding. Golding, it's deflected over. It's a corner. Nathan Morris will come down from his position at the back. And here come Weston. We've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in regulation time in this one. 87, almost 88 gone, and it's 3-3 here at Magic Park.
Yeah, as you said, we've got 2 minutes of normal time remaining, and we'll have injury time. It's a game that you just do not want to end, isn't it? It's been end-to-end, counter-attack, some good football played in the middle of the park, and 6 goals, and there probably could have been 10 or 11. So
you just can't take your eyes off this one. Here's Morris. Whipping, he gets a lot of curl, but it's a bit too much in the end, and they're going to win a corner, I think. I'm trying to think. There were some Western fans, I think, behind the goal mouth that you can see, calling for the corner, I believe, and Trevor Morris yelling out orders to his Western troops. Make sure there's no fast break here from Broadmeadow, because we've already seen this afternoon how quickly they can break. And here it is on this corner with Nathan Morris curling it back post. It's well dealt with by Berlin. Now a little bit of a bicycle, and it's tipped over from Nathan Archbold again in goals. Another corner for Nathan Morris. Is he going to trot to the other side? Or is he... No, he's going to stay on this side. They've said it's gone over. It was pretty much directly in the middle. And Nathan Morris, he's going to walk over, checks the pressure in the ball, and makes sure this time it's perfect for him as we run down now into the final minute of regulation time. Here's Morris looking front post. There again with Liam Thornton as McDermott on the volley. He cracks it into Carl Thornton, and it runs away towards Robbie Turnbull. Dino Fajkovic was up there. Play wide, Matt Houle does well, and Weston will stay on the attack. late on in this one here at Magic Park. 3-3 on Bar TV. Here he is, Brock Oakley, right in front of us. Now for Robbie Turnbull, playing it inside to Milstead. Milstead back to Brock Oakley. Oakley now to Turnbull. Turnbull turning around on Hoole, still with Turnbull, holding him off. Can he put one in? He's going to try and win a corner, is he? He doesn't do so. He finds Milstead nicely. It's back now and knocked up the ground from Callan Lewis towards Fajkovic. Nathan Morris does really well. Here's Nathan Morris on the ball, trying to play it towards Milstead. Deflects away. It sits up for Weston. Milstead with a shot, and Weston have got a goal in the final minutes. Well, what a goal that is in the end. Luck's of fortune for the visitors. Can you believe it? 4-3. Do you believe it, Blake?
No, who could believe? That's amazing. Gary McDermott's really stood up today. He's had a hand in nearly every goal, I think. It's just brilliant stuff from the Bears.
Well, now we're going to see attack from Broadmeadow. 46 almost gone in the second half into stoppage time. But wow. Luck is a fortune for Weston. The deflected clearance sitting up for McDermott, who went to Milstead. And do you believe it for a Magic fan? Heart-wrenching stuff is back for Casaroli. Great to have your company this afternoon. It has been a cracker. Here's Chris Berlin trying to turn away. Turnbull on the ball. Weston are just going to do the classic, try and grind this one out from here. They couldn't do it when they led 3-2. And we'll see if they can now do it at 4-3. They've got less time at the moment. Next week, Bar TV, it's Weston and Edgeworth. Berlin with the header, trying to go back for Finlayson. He got a big tug from Rob Macbeth. Finlayson flying in was Jacob Golding. Back for Thornton. It deflects back towards Wilson Edwards, who knocks it up towards Milstead, who scored the winner. He goes down. We're going to see a yellow card go to Ben Higgins. Well, it's going to be a free kick on the far side for Wilson Edwards. So Bar TV, it's the match of the round in round 8. Stoppage time. Weston, after being down 2-0 in the opening 17, fought back. A little bit of a push. Higgins and Jacob Golding has been feeling in this throughout the second half. It was 2-1 at half-time in favour of the home side. And then Weston got up 3-2. And now it's played back for McDermott. McDermott now turning on the ball. He's just turning and he's going to run towards the corner, you'd think here. He's just going to sit down there, Gary McDermott now. Just trots into the corner. He's going to try and wind it down. I wouldn't play that game with Broadmeadow because they love to counter-attack. It sits up and flying in. Here's Reece Tippett. A little bit of push and shove over there by Snedden and Tippett. There was the... Oh, gee whiz, this isn't good scenes here. Well, I said, Blake, midway through the half that all they needed was a little bit of spark, and the fuse has gone off there. I hope I didn't see any kicking there or was someone on the ground.
Yeah, Kale's probably going to go here.
Well, there's got to be a red card here. That was awful.
Yeah, it was a terrible tackle, and they really didn't need to react. Kale's ran in from a fair way and had to go with Zach Snedden.
Well, that's just frustration from Broadmeadow at this point in time. They just flying. They came in from everywhere. It's been threatening to go off the whole half. Snedden and Tippett are still having a set to. They're not shaking hands anytime soon. Oh. And it's going to be a throw for Ben Higgins. So the match just keeps going on. The drama keeps getting written. This will be a good one to watch back, Blake. It has been an awesome game. As I said, it's had everything. Ben Higgins with the throw.
I think the referee's done a great job there. A couple of players he probably could have got sent off, but he's done a good job to just give out some yellows and just let them know that's not on, and just let the game restart.
Cutting one back, and it's gone over the byline. Well, sometimes you don't have to give red cards out because it just inflames the situation anymore. So I think he's done a wonderful job, the referee, this afternoon. A tough match for him to referee. And I think Western fans are calling for the whistle. full time here. And here's Tim Pratt. We'll see if this is the final play of the game. And it is the final play. Weston come to Magic Park and do the job. And they stay undefeated away from home in 2015. Last year, they only lost one game at home. This year, they haven't lost a game away from home. And this afternoon, it was a 4-3 win over Broadmeadow. And Broadmeadow go down for the first time this season. Blake, what is your summary of the game this afternoon?
Yeah, what a game. It was great, wasn't it? The whole 90 minutes. It started off with a bang and it just kept going for the duration of the game. We won't run through the goal scorers. There was too many, wasn't there? 4-3, but obviously it was 2-1 at half time, and it's ended up Weston getting 3 in the second half and Magic just getting the 1. So Weston have won it today, 4-3, in a very, very good game.
Well, yeah, that wraps it up. Next week, of course, on Bar TV, we have got Weston and Edgeworth. Join us live next week, next Sunday, Jack McLaughlin Oval, 2:30 p.m. And as I said, if it's half as good as this game was this afternoon, it is going to be an absolute cracker of a game. So until next Sunday here it will be round 9 of the Northern New South Wales NPL. It's been great to have your company this afternoon, and we'll see you next week.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.